Good afternoon, children. Hi, you are coming to 8th to 9th students. You are all some students new. Anyhow, welcome to video class in geography. Today, we are going to see second lesson, lithosphere exogenetic process. First lesson you already see, that is endogenetic process. That is the formation of volcanoes, earthquake, tsunami, etc. Today we are going to see different landforms which are formed above the surface of the earth. So, how it has formed, the earth is undergoes different changes. For example, we say earth is a dynamic planet, we say. Why we say dynamic planet? Previously, earth is a unique planet, as well as it is the only planet where the living things are exist. Here we say earth is a dynamic planet. The dynamic means what? The earth itself undergoes some changes by external forces as well as internal forces. So as a result, we can see on the earth like a kaleidoscopic variety of colorful, beautiful land features, that is scenic view. It is possible. It's not only give beautiful on earth, it's also balanced in nature. That is why we say nature is God, nature is great, we say. Now how earth change itself, which maintains the balance, say through this formation of different landforms, you can understand. First I say how earth is called as dynamic planet. Earth, a dynamic planet. Why do you say earth is a dynamic? Because it undergoes changes by external and internal process. The internal process, endogenetic, that I already told you, volcano, earthquake, tsunami, plate movement, tectonic movement, etc. Today the class is external process, that is exogenetic process. It is by the forces, we say solar energy as well as gravitational force. These two are essential for exogenetic process. Whereas internal process we say, that is radiation, thermal radiation, which formed interior parts of the earth. But here, outside surface of the earth, as a result of solar energy. How the solar energy is responsible? It is a reason for formation of all weather elements. For example, temperature, rainfall, snowfall, direction of wind, force of wind, movement of glacier, waves, etc. All it is responsible by sun energy, that we say solar radiation. Another one, rolling down, tumbling down, and that is depositional work. All it is possible by gravitational forces. So that is why we say earth is a dynamic planet. Now, how it undergoes such type of changes? The changes are occurring in two ways. One we say as weathering. The weathering is also called mass movement, and another one we say gradation. Now we say what is called weathering. Weathering is the breakdown or disintegration or decomposition of the earth materials, especially rock material. This is called, that is weathering. Again, one time I say, what is called weathering? Wear down, wither out. That is what? That is disintegration or breaking or decomposition of earth materials by natural agent, that is natural process, that is called weathering. Second one we say gradation. Gradation topic I come to say second part. Now we say weathering. What is weathering? Weathering is disintegration, decomposition and breaking down of rock material or earth material by exposure of heating and cooling process is called weathering. These weatherings are classified into three. One we say as physical weathering. Second one chemical weathering. Third biological weathering. Now we see what is physical weathering. Definition. Physical weathering is nothing but say breaking down, disintegration or decomposition of rock material but without changing the chemical composition of rock material or earth material by constant heating and cooling process, or we say freezing or thawing process which occur every day during night and day, so which results this process. It is called physical weathering. This physical weathering is further divided into three. One is we say exfoliation. Second one granular disintegration. Third we say as block disintegration. Now, what is exfoliation? When the continuously earth material, rocks undergo constant alternative heating and cooling, the rounded type of rocks are peeled into layer by layer. So that is why we say it is exfoliation. Second, granular disintegration. You know the word granular itself is the meaning. The rocks which contain grains, it may be sand grains or pebbles or small stones, when the same way it is exposed by weathering elements, that is heating and cooling process or some other weathering elements too, the grains of the rocks become loose and fall down. Such type of weathering we say as what a granular disintegration. Next one we say block disintegration. Block disintegration, how it happen? The continuous physical process, same heating and cooling, where the joints of the rocks become weak. So it develops into this side one stone, this side one stone, one block. Like that, when you travel to anywhere seeing the mountain side, you can observe such type of block mountains. How it is means it is because of this integration. So again I remember you, what is physical weathering? The physical weathering are classified into how many? And that is what is exfoliation, what is granular disintegration, what is block disintegration. Now I show you the picture. Now you see that in physical weathering, under that we see exfoliation. Exfoliation, what I say, the rocks, rounded rocks are peeled into layer by layer, I say, isn't it? So this is exfoliation. Second one is say as what a granular. You see the grains are become loose and fall down. So it seems to be a waltz-like structure. So the granules are becoming out. This is why we say granular. Next one we say as what a block. You can see that is block of rocks, where the rocks joints become weak and develop a crack and leads to stone pieces, that is we say as block disintegration. Next, weathering. What is called chemical weathering? Chemical weathering is, that is weathering process, wearing down process of rocks which undergo chemical changes in color, characteristics may be changed. This is developed into 4 types. One we say oxidation. Second one we say carbonation. Carbonation, solution, hydration. Now, how the oxidation process, the rocks undergo changes in color or which results in the characteristic changes. What I say, the earth seems to be a kaleidoscopic colors and designs, isn't it? So, here oxidation process means, you know already in chemistry, that is rusting of iron, similar to the same. When the rocks contain, that is more iron, the oxygen in the air, when rainfall comes, it contact to, that is rocks which is rusted. That means you don't think iron only getting the rusted. Even rocks too, what we say, oxygenated. So it becomes as what we say, color may be changed. So that is why it become weak. The result of disintegration of rocks in due course of time. Second one, carbonation. Carbonation process, it is by the presence of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. As usual, in the weathering elements, carbon dioxide is mixed with the water, it forms carbonic acid. You know, acid is the property of corrugation. So, it corrugated the rock materials. As a result, the rocks become weak. As usual, it is started to breaking down. So, this is another process of carbonization. Third one, we say solution. Some rocks naturally, for example, limestone, gypsum, dolomite rocks are easily soluble in the water. As a result, the rocks are breaking down or disintegrated. This is we say as solution. Then next one we say hydration. Hydration means for some rocks has the capacity to absorb the water and enlarge and bulge in its shape. In due course of time, it becomes as what we say particles, rock particles. So that is by absorption of water H2O by the rocks which results that in disintegration. This is called hydration. Again one time, what is chemical weathering? Chemical weathering is, that is the rocks undergo chemical changes by the oxygen, carbon dioxide or by water. It gives some changes or color or its character or it disintegrator. It is called chemical weathering. It is classified into 4. Oxidation, carbonation, solution, hydration. Oxidation, the presence of the oxygen in the water which oxidized by the rocks, its color may be changed. So carbonation, carbon dioxide when mixed with the water and develop into carbonic acid, acid is corrugate the rocks. Next solution, some rocks, soft rocks has a tendency to soluble in water. Then hydration, some types of rocks has the capacity of absorbing and enlarging, bulge and develop into, that is small pieces. This is called chemical weathering. Then third one we say biological weathering. The biological weathering by animals, then plants and human beings. You know how by animals? The animals we say, example, burrowing animals, rat, rabbit, such type of animals as a habit to live, that is any crack or burrow area to live. When it is Bio, living things. Due to living things, this action is carried out. Plants, some area you can see on the mountains, the plants' roots are entered inside the rock. In due course of time, the roots which develops the cracks in the rocks, so as a result it is disintegrated. Then human activities we know, that is borewell, or we have to be some other industrial purpose or some developmental purpose. The rocks are what we say disintegrated. So these are what we say biological weathering. Again, what is weathering? Weathering is classified into three: physical weathering, chemical weathering, biological weathering. Physical weathering, I said there is three. Chemical weathering. Now chemical weathering, biological weathering, I will show you map. Chemical weathering, how it undergo changes, I say, by oxidation. I said, isn't it? It is similar to that of rusting of iron. How that is, iron presence in the rocks changed into this color and characteristics. Second one we say carbonation, that already we know that is acid process corrugated, you know naturally. Solution hydration or enlarged, that you do no need to picture, that you know very well. Biological weathering, I said plant roots, some burrowing animals, human activities, the rocks are becoming what we say disintegrated. Gradation, gradational process. What is called a gradational process? Leveling of land surface is called a gradation. Leveling takes place in two processes. One we say as building up and another one bearing down. The building up process is called aggradation. Bearing down process is called degradation. So, when the earth undergoes changes, it is by gradational process. What is gradation? Leveling of earth's surface. The leveling of earth's surface, it takes place in two ways, building up and bearing down. The building up process is called aggradation and bearing down process is called degradation. How it happens? It is by agents such as flowing water, that means we say force of the river, then we say groundwater, then glaciers, then wind and sea waves. These are some of the agents responsible for both aggradation and degradation process. Before seeing how these changes have been occurred, I want to ask you one question. Is weathering is necessary? Yes. Why it is essential means, nowadays we are seeing different kinds of soil. Do you think is it magic? Any Varna Bhagavan or Indra Bhagavan as pouring from the sky? It's not at all. Only because of weathering process. The soil is very, very essential natural resource for living things. Not only for living, even non-living constructional purpose. Such type of soil, even 1 centimeter or a piece, we cannot able to make. So, like that, this formation of soil is because of weathering. So, that is why the weathering lesson we are seeing about that under what exogenetic process. Now, we come here. The gradation agents are occurred by river. First one we take for the course of the river. Say, action of the river. This agent, how it creates various landforms on the earth, we see that. First, river where it originate. The place where it originates is called source. Usually mountain area or some places plateau area, the rivers. Why? Because those areas naturally heavy precipitation occurs. Next, how much the length the river flows, that length of that area is called course of a river. Then next we say where the river drain into, that is sea or it may be a lake, that place is called mouth of a river. So the river has three parts: source, course, mouth. Source is what? Where the river originates in the mountains or plateau region. What is course? How much length and area the river flows, that is called course of the river. Where that is river drain, that place is called mouth of the river. Now you take this course of the river. The course which has divided into three. One is upper course. Second one, middle course. Third one, lower course. All these three courses, the river forms variety of features. First we take upper course of the river. That means from the place of origin. Imagine this is what we say mountain. The river has formed, it starts to flow. When the river flows on steep slopes, by eroding the material, it develops into crack, deep crack, that is called gorge. That is, first I say what are the features are formed. The features which are formed in the upper course are gorges, canyons, waterfall, plunge pool, rapids, then we say as potholes. It is by erosional. Why here I say erosional? Usually that is upper course of the river, which action is predominant, means erosional action only predominant. So as a result of this erosional, this kind of features are formed. Now we take one by one, what is gorge, what is canyons, etc. Now you see here the picture. It is called gorge. What I say? When the river flows from the mountain on steep mountains, it erodes a rock material which gives, like you see here, the gap. This type of gap in the mountains we say as what is gorge. Where do we find such type of gorges? In India you take Himalayan region, that is river Brahmaputra, river Indus are creating such type of gorge. Next I say canyons. What is canyons? The same river which flow for several kilometers distance along the mountains through the gorges, which creates such types of canyons. Where do we find this type of features? Means we say as in USA, that is Grand Canyon in USA as an example. See, one thing I am telling in India, another thing I am telling in USA. You may have doubt, all the features is it not possible to see in one place, means is not, because our topography of surface is different from in different places. So depending upon that is topography and lithospheric condition, thickness, depth, and the action of the river, speed of the river, force of the river, volume of the river, everything is responsible for creating all kinds of the features in different places. Generally we are talking about under weathering or gradational process, how different landforms are formed. So a canyon means you come to know that is river flows through long gorges for several kilometers. Such type of feature, because long distance is zero, it leaves like a gap like you see here. This is we say canyons. Then next we say waterfall. This is called waterfall. Waterfall you know very well. You have to visit our area, Hoganakal waterfall, or you see Sivasamudram waterfall. And near that we know. Apart from general we say about Niagara waterfalls, Victoria waterfalls are some example. See this waterfall, how it is formed? Is it a magic to form? It is giving us happiness and pleasure? No. It is also due to that is erosional process. You know, some mountains, that is the rocks are made up of hard and soft layers. Where that is soft layers of rocks, that is horizontally, when it is made it of layers, hard, soft, the soft layers are eroded. Now you see hard rocks protruding. Now the water as coming from height is jumps down. So that is why we feel like waterfalls. Such type of falling down water, jumping down water, where the soft rocks are the below layer is eroded, there only we can see. That is why wherever the river flows, we cannot be see such type of waterfalls. Where that is hard rocks protruding and soft rocks are get eroded. So the falling down of water with great force and speed is called as waterfall. You know, I already saw example Hoganakal waterfalls, and you know naturally it has giving some medicine to anyone have migraine or headache. If they take monthly once in that waterfalls at the bath, naturally it would cure. So how the nature is giving us as medicine to our health is not only giving us a beautiful scenery, is health purpose, inertia survival purpose, our environment, our earth as like a mother which has giving us what is such type of futures. Then another one we say as waterfall. Next time, plunge pool. What is called plunge pool? Here not I say, you imagine that when the waterfalls is coming, you know, beneath the surface, because the waterfall coming fast with speed, so beneath the surface the rock layers are eroding, surface material gets eroded and it creates a depression that is called as what? A plunge pool. So this plunge pool, how it is happened? Because of force and speed of the waterfall in the beneath the surface, the rock materials are getting eroded. What is the use of forming such type of plunge pool or waterfall means? It is also result for helpful for rolling down of rocks. Even huge blocks of rocks can get what we say rolling down. Next, after forming the plunge pool, the river which flow like a shallow with the speed, that is called rapid. This is called rapid. What I show you in the picture, sometimes you can see. If you visit any waterfalls, such type of features you can see how the water that is flow as with the speed and shallow region. So this is called rapids. And another features we have to be see about, that is potholes. This is called potholes. The potholes are usually formed in plateau region. If you go Alagar Malay or Jalagambara here or Jonai region, we say in our region locality, so such type of features you can see here. Potholes you can see, that is. This is also for what? Because of erosional process. Then after this erosional process in the upper course of the river, now it comes to middle course. Before seeing the middle course, once again I revise you. The river course is divided into upper, middle and a lower course. The upper course predominant feature future is erosional forms. The erosional forms which creates different features, land features. One we say gorges, canyons, waterfall, plunge pool, rapids, potholes, including we say as V-shaped valleys. V-shaped valleys are formed when that is erosional work on the hills is going on eroding. That deeply, further deep, it develops into V-shaped valley. So this is called a V-shaped valley. So these are what we say because of erosional action of the river. Next we come to middle course. In the middle course, what is a dominant feature means that is transportation. Transportation work is predominant. The transportation work is develops two features. One we say meanders and another one we say oxbow lake. Now what is called meanders? First you see the picture, then I say what is meander. The river flows like a snake-like structure by developing loops and bends. Such type of feature is called meanders. Why it is happen? When it is coming to middle course, it carry heavy load. So that is why it is flowing like this. So loops and bends. So that is why we call it as what? Meanders. Next we say oxbow lake. The oxbow lake, see the picture here, how it develops. The meanders in due course of time, it develops due to centrifugal force, deposition on one side, leaving it to narrow space, that is narrow neck. Then it form a circular, complete circle form. The river abandoned that lake and it changes another via, and abandoned lake is called Oxbow Lake. Where do we see such type of lake? That is in India, bigger Conver Lake we say. In USA, Chicote Lake. These two are, for example, I say Oxbow Lake, example Chicote in USA and Conver Lake in Bihar. So, what is meander? What is Oxbow Lake? What is meander? When the river flows through middle course, it develops loops and bends, is called meanders. The meanders in due course of time developed into narrow neck with complete circle. Then it abandoned by the river which develops the lake, that is called Oxbow Lake. That is example I said. Now you come to lower course of the river. In the lower course of, after flowing from mountain, middle area, then where that region going to drain the sea, that part is called a lower course of the river. There what kind of feature is predominant means depositional feature is predominant. As a result of depositional feature, some landforms are formed. Here I say depositional feature. As a result, what kind of landforms are formed? One we say alluvial fans, fluke plains, then estuary, delta. What is called alluvial fans? Especially foothills of the mountains, fan-like structure the rivers. It is divided in many places like a stream, deposit fan-like structure, that is called alluvial fans, especially in foothill region. Then fluke plains. When the river has experienced flood in rainy season, it deposits more amount of silt on the banks of the river, or we call it as what we say flood plains. That is usually it may be banks or in vast area too it develops, because this is a region where the fertile alluvial soil, because new alluvium is deposited this region, we call it as the Kadar soil, very essential for agricultural production. Such type of flood plains are as a result of depositional work in the lower course of the river. So that is, I say for example, in Bhavani river region, Tanjore region, such type of agricultural activities where it is carried out more in alluvial soil, that is we say floodplain area. Then estuary and delta. You know what I say, depending upon the topography and the area where it flows is depending on the features are formed. Now you take for in India, it is like, this is Western Ghats, this is Eastern Ghats, this area is seen as broad, this area is narrow. West coastal region, East coastal region, Narmada river and Tabadi river. This Narmada, Tabadi are west flowing rivers. The gap between the Ghats, that is mountain region, and the sea, Arabian Sea is very narrower. As a result, the river is not possible to deposit vast area of alluvial soil. So within that the sea waves are meet in that is river. So that is why there that place sea waves and fresh water or river it is joins. That place we call it as what? Estuary. Then here we say delta. Delta, how it is formed? Deltas are formed where the region is wider. Usually in the east coastal plain area, the area between Bay of Bengal and the Eastern Ghats, very wider, vast. So the river when it flows, it develops into many distributaries. So it forms like what we say delta shape. The delta is a word used by very first Greek people, because the river Nile which has formed as delta shape, so the Greek Egyptians they used to what we mentioned about what this delta. That is why the triangular shaped alluvial soil deposit at the mouth of the sea is called a delta. For we represent as what this shape. Next example I say, estuary example I told you Narmada and Tabadi region. Here we say delta, Kaveri delta, and then you say about Sundarbans, Ganga, Brahmaputra region, that is the world's largest delta. So these are examples for vast deposit of alluvial soil at the mouth of the sea. Then here one more thing you want to be remember, in the depositional work how it is, this lower course is more possible means when the river flows down, many rivers or streams are which originate in different places join with the main river. That is called a tributary. So what is called a tributary? The streams are or that is small river originate in some place and join with the main river, that is called tributary. What is called a distributary? When the river before joining the sea, it develops into many channels. It never to join again with the main river. So that is called the distributary. Example for tributary, Bhavani is a tributary of river Kaveri, and then Yamuna is a tributary of river Ganga. A distributary we say Hooghly river is a distributary in Tiruchi Srirangam near Kolarun. That is Kulliram we say, that is a distributary of varying. So the difference between tributary and distributary, difference between estuary and delta. However, they are asking give reason or distinguish or short question form. Once you understand the term, how it is formed, why it is formed, where it is formed, so you can able to answer what are the type of questions they may ask, such as assertion and reason. Example, if a give reason, distinguish, or short question or paragraph question, all you can able to write. But assertion, reason type of understanding. One example I say, take for example canyons. First sentence I say, canyons assertion. These are canyons are formed by depositional future of river. Reason, as a result of river action, it formed. What is the answer maybe? Whether A is correct or is wrong, or both A and B are correct, or R is correct or A are wrong. Such kind, 4 types of question model option. Here you say that is canyons are formed. Is it due to depositional? No. What we say? It is by erosional. So it is what we say A is not correct. Then second we say as a result of river action it forms. Yes, it is formed by river action. It's not by any wind action or glacier action. So it is not correct. A is wrong, incorrect, and reason is what we say correct. So like that, for example, temporarily I am telling. If you go through all this area, even the match the following, they have to be give this shape. For example, these pictures only they will give. Opposite side, they change V-shaped valley, potholes or waterfall like that. You want to be find out this picture is what for? It is canyons. This picture what we say? B option. That is we say gorges. So this is what D option, Oxbow Lake. So seeing the picture, that is we say observation. Listening is very important, and at home you go through line by line, whatever the type of question you can answer it well. The agent, groundwater. The groundwater action is where it is predominant, means the regions where limestone rocks are available more. So such type of topography we call it as karst topography. What is called karst topography? Groundwater action is predominant in the limestone region is called karst topography. Where do we find such type of region means we say about Slovenia, nearly 480, that is kilometer length, 80 kilometers width is available there. So that is why in Slovenic language it is called karst, means limestone. There are other region in the world level, largest limestone region where means Nullarbor. Nullarbor in West Australian coast we find. Then apart from Jamaica, Mexico, France, Spain, New Guinea, in India too we have to be finding Bihar, Uttarakhand, Andhra Pradesh, such type of example. In India I say for Bihar, Guptadam caves. Then second one we say as Chhattisgarh, Robert caves and Tapkeshwar temple. Then Andhra Pradesh we say Bora caves. Chhattisgarh, Kutumshar, that is caves. Why I am saying the caves are example means in underground action of the water, the caves are predominant feature. See, apart from water, that is groundwater action, it is also by erosional as well as depositional. First we say as erosional features. The erosional features are terra rossa. Terra rossa means in Italian term we say red soil region. This is why. How it is formed? Again I already told you chemical weathering, where that is iron oxide is more. In the limestone area, the presence of iron which makes it as what we say red in color. Such type of in our region red soil we say. So this is by action of chemical weathering, by that is what we say action of groundwater. Then second feature we say as lapis. Lapis are formed where means limestone rocks are vertically corrugated by rainwater. Usually limestone it is soluble. Is vertically corroded. It develops that is we say furrow like structure. For example, I say ant hills. You can see huge ant hills how it is. Such type of structures we say as what lapis. Then sinkhole, where the depth of the limestone area is more. The water, underground water seeps into that is depth. Average we say 3 meters to 6 meters it can able to make it as cylindrical shape, or that is what we say funnel shaped hole. This is called sinkhole. Such type of sinkhole in China we say deepest one. That is we say Xiano Shai Tiankang. That is a region we find such type of deepest sinkhole. Illinois in USA we have to be find 15,000 such type of sinkholes. So this is by also action of groundwater. Then we say caves and caverns. These caves and caverns are how it is formed. That is groundwater when it is flow through the limestone area, the part which is eroded. How it is eroded? We know already carbonation. That is carbonation, carbon dioxide mixing with the water and limestone make it as water carbonic acid. It corrugated in under that is subterranean features. So develops what we say caves. Usually it may be occurred in mountain region also. And another one caverns, C-A-V-E-R-N-S. Caverns are what means irregular surface. Usually caves, lion, den we say, even sannyasis they are doing that is finance. Here caverns are irregular surface time. That is example Guptadam cave in Bihar. That is example for caverns, irregular surface. That is caves and caverns are formed by groundwater erosional work. Then another feature depositional work of that is groundwater. Before seeing that is depositional work, do you think only these features are formed on the earth? Many other features also. Example I say shallow holes, uvalas, polges, dolins. These are what we say some other, but these are found in other parts of the world. Now we see depositional workup, that is groundwater. The groundwater flows it to deposit some types of features. Example you see first in the picture I say you stalactite, stalagmite and pillars. Three features you can see in single picture. And now I say, when the rainwater contains calcite rocks, it flows through that is caves from the ceiling. When it is drips, drop by drop, it gets evaporated. So it is a salt, isn't it? So it is what attached in the ceiling of the cave. This process is going on. So drop by drop, before falling, it solidifies. So it develops as what we say, like a root from the banyan tree, from the ceiling towards the ground. Such type is called stalactite in the caves from the ceiling. Another one we say as what stalagmite. Stalagmite, what we say, that is sometimes the water drops down the floor. There the water droplets as what evaporate. from the floor, same way, when the drops are fall down, from the floor it is raising upwards. So that from the ground towards the ceiling it develops, that is called stalagmite. Stalactite is from the ceiling to floor. Stalagmite is from the floor to towards the ceiling. Some places and certain time, both stalactite and stalagmite join together. It is create a pillar, column-like structure. So this is a form of a deposition. That means salt deposition, which is create a pillar like. If you see the picture, you know that is what a beautiful scenery inside the caves. If you watch the film or any cine songs or English movie or that is National Geographic channel, you can enjoy such type of pictures. Sometimes we wonder, because now we are seeing the picture, okay. If directly like we see means, we have to be astonished how the naturally it has to be formed such type of features. Then another one we say about agent glacier. What is called glacier? There is a river of ice. Moving of ice is called a glacier. It is parts we say snowfield. Then snow line, then ferns or maybe. These terms we work because all these are surface essential for forming the landforms. First we say what is glacier means river of ice. Snowfield, where the accumulation of snow is called snowfield. Snow line, the height of the snow which develop from the permanent snow. This is called altitude, higher altitude or latitude from the permanent snow, that is called snow line. Here one general question, that is higher the latitude, lower the snow line. For example, Alps mountain which has 2720 meters, whereas Greenland has what we say 600 meters. Why? Because Alps mountain is lower altitude, whereas Greenland is higher latitude. So latitude, again I say latitude, if it is increases, snow line decreases. Greenland is in higher latitude, so snow line is decreased. Alps is comparing Greenland, it is lower latitude, so snow line is increasing. Next, ferns and navy. What is called ferns? Granular ice is called ferns and navy. Later, it becomes what we say solid snow. Now we see action, erosional action, transportation action and the depositional action of the landforms on the earth surface. Here you see first the picture, cirque, hearty, macarons. Hearty, a horn only is that is called a peak or macaron. Hearty. Then U-shaped valley one is there, that is not given, I say you, hanging valley, then fjord. These are all what we say as what some landforms. What are the landforms are formed by erosional features of glacier means cirque, hearty, macaron, U-shaped valley, fjord, hanging valley, all the features. What is called cirque? First you say any huge heap of sand is there. The three children are playing. One child is what we say sliding through the sand. You see that is armchair like shape, bubble like shape is formed. That is called cirque. That is, I say for understanding, huge heap of sand is there. The children are playing by sliding. Construction area you can see that is when they are sliding, it forms like what we say bubble shape, armchair like shape, because this side ridge, down you can see shallow, that is called cirque. What is called hearting? Art is called two cirques are turned. One time is sliding and the other side is sliding here and another one side. But these two circuits are developed into this one ridge and this one ridge joined back to back. This is called arting. Then another one we say as matteron or pyramidal peak we say. Pyramidal peak, it develops by 2 or 3 circuits. Imagine that is one boy is sliding, another boy is sliding, another boy is sliding. So, and that develops into what we say this area is peak like a structure. This is called pyramidal peak or otherwise we say matterhorn. M-A-T-T-E-R-H-O-R-N. Matterhorn. Next we say about what feature we have to be find about that is we see as a glacier. After that is river of ice, erosional forms, U-shaped valley. And the same by 2 or 3 times he is sliding, it's wider and deeper. Same way the glaciers are moving or flowing down that is hilly area. It develops by erosional activity U-shaped, so that is called U-shaped valley. V-shaped valley by rivers, but U-shaped valley is formed by what? Action of glaciers. This also they may ask us what a master following. Then another one we have to be say hanging valley. Hanging valley of a tributary glacier. This is main glacier that have some land features. Tributary glaciers are which erode the material or the forms what we say valley, that is called hanging because it is hanging from the main valley, so it is called hanging valley. However, I say in a classroom it is what I see the picture, otherwise you go through some channel, you come to clear understanding. Then another one we say fjord. What is called a fjord? Where that is glacier, it is submerged in the sea. When it is submerged, it is formed glacial valleys. That is called fjord. Again, now you see the picture. Glacial valleys are called fjord. This is submerge of ice glacier into the sea is called fjord. Next we say as depositional work of the action of the glacier. What are the actions are land features are formed? Moraines. Then second one we say as what? Drumlins. And I say one by one. That is next one we say eskers and outwash plain. 4 features are formed. Moraines are nothing but the deposition of glaciers in vast area, plain area. That is what we call continental glaciers. Then another one we say some places the glaciers in some other regions it deposited its load in certain places like half-cut egg, or otherwise we say inverted giant spoon shape of a structure, that is called what we say drumlin. D-R-U-M-L-I-N, drumlins. Then esker. When it is glaciers are moving, it start to melt. And it is flow like a stream with ice. It carries already load. I already told you when it is going on middle course, it will transport boulders, sand, gravels, all which carry its load and deposit on both the sides of that is glaciers parallel, that is called eskers. Then you come for outwash plain, last stage, where that is glaciers deposit fine silt, sand and gravels, that is called as what? Outwash plain. This is we say as, see the picture, this is outwash plain. So now both erosional features, what are the glacier forms means cirque, arctic, matteron, U-shaped valley, hanging valley, and pujol. Depositional features, moraines, drumbling, eskers, outwash plains. These are what we say depositional features of the glaciers. Children, next agent, wind, action of wind. Through the action of here too we say erosional, depositional and transportational, there is action. First erosion of wind. First what is called wind? That is blowing of air at or near the surface is called wind. Ioling process. Ioling process is very essential. What is called ioling process means this erosional, transportational and depositional work in predominant in arid region is called Ionian process. What is called arid region? Usually desert region, dry region, where the rainfall is very meager, temperature is higher. Such type is called arid region. Such places the action of the wind is very vigorous, force, so which create different types of landforms. That is we say the mushroom rock, Inselberg, Yarden. What is mushroom rock? How it is formed? That is mushroom like structure. How naturally it forms? When the wind blowing it carries the heavy load of the sand particles. When the bottom of the rock is made up of soft rocks, it gets eroded. So it gives like such type of beautiful shape in the rocks. Sometimes you can see that is what you wonder. The rocks are standing with the tip. So because of this erosional features of wind. And another one we say that is Inselberg. Mushroom rocks are we see in Jodhpur in Rajasthan. Inselberg in German word we say that is isolated island or island mountain we say. Residual hills. How it is means it is by action of the wind. Some grains are what we say transported, eroded by especially in the volcanic rocks, because these are all hot resistant to wind action, so it gives to residual yields is called Inselberg. These Inselbergs are we say as what? Higher rocks are IS, AYERS, or we say Uluru rocks. Where do we find in Australia? Then Yarden. You see this structure, ring-like structure, and which has irregular crest. It is how naturally it too. The rocks are formed in vertically. Hard layer, soft layer, hard layer, soft layer. The wind blows over the rocks. The soft layers are eroded. So it gives us what we say circular shape. Ring-like structure. It gives irregular crest. It is vary from place to place. This is also a beautiful rock design which is formed by erosion action of the wind. And another one we see depositional landforms by wind. That we say first sand dunes. What are called sand dunes? In some Tamil cinema you can see that is a desert area, mounds and hills like sand which are heaped. How it is? Anyone has heaped there? No. Usually here the wind carries. That is wind storms when blow, heavy load of sand it carry. When the speed reduces, it deposits there. Heap like structure is called, it looks like a mounds or hills like structure in the sand. So that is also very beautiful look, which is called sand dunes. Then portions. The portions, first I say the heading, then I explain to you. Portions, transverse dunes, this is longitudinal dunes or we say shape dunes, loess. These are what we say the depositional work. First I say sand dunes, hills, mound like, because windstorm carries heavy load of sand deposited like a heap. Another one, portions. Portion means where the windward side it develops gentle slopes and leeward side steep slopes. I say one example, crescent moon. Crescent moon you can see like this. The windward side gentle slope and leeward side has what a steep slope because of action of the wind. So it erodes. So it gives like a crescent shaped hill form that is called a portion. Then transverse dunes. The wind is blowing in desert area. As usual carries that is load sand. So it is sometimes wind blow fast, sometimes slow. If a fast means one structure, I say for transverse. Transverse are asymmetrical shape. That means like that. When the wind speed is there means here in erosion mode. Wind speed is low, it comes this deposit. So it's continuous blowing, that is speed and slow blow of wind which results such a type of dunes that is called transverse dunes. Another one we say longitudinal dunes. Longitudinal dunes are how it is formed. It is formed parallel to the direction of wind. You see here, parallel to the direction of the wind, long ridge-like shape, sand deposit that is called shape of longitudinal dunes. This is we find in, we say as what some other places. The transverse dunes, maximum all the desert, Sahara region, Thar desert region, Australia region, we have to be find as what we say shape dunes. Then loess. Loess is what means it is a depositor. Fine soft sand, not soil, soft sand which has silk like a structure which deposited with a thickness which form as what we say plateau like a look. So that is called a loess. Loess means you remember soft sand. That is very minute sand. Because of rolling, it develops into very softness. That is called a loess. It is found in China. Usually 335 meters thickness we find due to what we say depositional action of the wind. We are coming the last part of the lesson, action of the sea waves. Here too, where it is predominant wave action means generally coastal areas, the erosional and depositional landforms. That is erosional landforms. What are that is formed means first sea caves. Already I told in middle of the sea or joining of the sea some rocks layers are there like a continental shelf. When the sea action, wave action is there, it is eroded, which develop as what we say means sea cave. Before that is some rocks adjoining the shore area. It's by eroding, it develop into steep slopes. That is called as what we say sea cliff. Sea cliff, what is called sea cliff means steep rocks. Usually this molding rock, due to the action of its eroder, so it gives sharp edge of the rock. So that is called a sea cliff. Then further the wave action is carried on continuously day by day, year by year. So this area is eroded, develop into what we say cave. This action also continuous process of wave action is non-stopping, you know very well. So it is other side of the wall, cave wall is what we say eroded. So this side wall, only leaving the top roof. I show you the picture here. It is called sea arch. You see both the side of the cave wall is eroded by wave action. Only the top roof is existed. It is to natural action. This is called a sea arch, a beautiful future you can see in somewhere. Then another one, sea stack. How the sea stack is formed? Again, the waves continuous process, constant process. Sometimes force also is there, depending upon what we say, and the moon forces or that is sun forces, which led to the rise height. Waves are rise height with a force, strong force. Finally, the top roof is what we say eroded out, fell down. So, if the top roof is fell down, it's led to what we say only the pillars. So, such type of here you see, year one, how this in the middle of the sea you can see standing rocks. These standing rocks we call it as what is sea stack. How it is? It is formed by erosional process. So, this is sea arch found in Neil Island in Andaman Nicobar. Sea stack we find in Old Man Hoy in we say as what Switzerland. Then we say about a sea stack after pillar like structure, continuous process of wave, the pillar also what we say eroded. Finally you see like this platform, this is called a wave cut platform we say. The pillar also is fell down by erosional activity. So this is called a wave cut beach or wave cut platform. Usually we are seeing our sand beach, but here we say as what a rock beach some places. So these are all what we say erosional process of the waves. That is sea cave, sea arch, sea stack and wave cut platform. Now we come depositional action of that is seen. Very well you know, predominant depositional action of the wave is what means that is developing beaches along the shoreline. What is beach? You know, deposition of huge amount of sand is brought by the sea waves and deposit along the shoreline is called a beach. Then bar. What is called bar? The beach adjoining, when depositing the beach, that is this area, adjoining area develops its height. That is called sandbar. Sandbar beach. Then another one depositional feature we say as what a spit. The spit is what it means. In between land and the sea, some rising sand. That is we say some places this type of structure we see that is called spit. In Andhra Pradesh, Kakinada, you can see such type of structure. That means one end is connecting with the land, another end is opening in the sea. Because of deposition of sand in the middle of the sea water. Even Rameswaram also you can see such type of sand raisings. That is called spit. Then already I told you beach. These are again one time depositional features of the waves are what means beach. This is. Then we say as a sandbar, that is adjoining the shoreline beach, height region, height sand region. Then in middle of the sea water and land, this type of rising sand we can deposit we see. This is called spit. Thank you children. Now this lesson more or less I covered all the agents of the forces which has formed variety of landforms through these pictures or what I explained. You can, that is amazing, wonder about these forms naturally how it is what is created by earth itself by exogenetic process, by physical agent or weathering and gradational process. So, by examination purpose only don't we collect the term one I think, because every lesson it is life oriented. What we say, we always ask keep and one eye on nature, because we know all they say God is one, but here I have to be remember God is two. One is visible God, another one invisible God. Visible God is These are all nature, mountain. There are such type of land features, plateaus, valleys, fjord, there is delta, estuary. These are all what we say visible God, because we can't create. And another one we say as invisible God. Here I ask a smile in my face, because invisible God only we are fearing. COVID-19 for example, how many times we teachers, parents are told you, insisted you, wash your hands thoroughly, but you are not at all listen. But you see now, COVID virus, that is in the form of invisible God, it gives not only you, including us, how to make us hygiene and health. Through this nature, we have to be learn how to maintain and preserve that is natural things, and we have to be conscious about that. That is why children, I have to be inform you. Very good. Finally children, I give you one project work. You try your level best, because everything possible you know that is, but it is need patience. One example, course of the river you take. Mountain, take clay, some sponge or grass material, or some material, cardboard material, all other waste cloth like that. First clay, form that is mountain, then you another one gorge, then canyon. What I give you, course of the river only you take, because all you can't. Course of the river, what are the landforms, gorge, canyon, these two, all not possible. Few features you can make it what you feel easy, that gorge, canyons, then you say as a plunge pool, waterfall. When the water is falling, like you take it as what we say cotton cloth, white cloth, very piece, minute thread. If you hang attach means it seems to be like what we say waterfall. Then plunge pool, the depression like you create, wrap it. So example I say, in you are all what very highly imaginative children, you have more powerful. So that is why more than me, your brain would be think very happy. This project, it is not a compulsory, just an idea I say for creation. You do it. Thank you children.